This is just for legal purposes only, and I have a right to record it.
Yeah, we have the right to refuse, and we're refusing to turn it off.
Are you presenting yourselves as public officers to me right now?
Okay.
No, I'm just asking you. Are you
cannot,
sworn in as a public officer? Is that how you're approaching me?
What?
We won't be putting this in a documentary, but we record.
You cannot have anybody from the public going in there to have their hair cut.
How come? When I have two people come here, I had her tell me the first time, you can't open. Well, why? She couldn't give me a reason. Tells me she's going to come back with a reason, comes back with a man that's 6'4" that leans into me, that won't identify himself as a public officer. And then he gives me his opinion and tells me I can't open. They couldn't quote the bylaw. They haven't called me back. I've made a complaint about her. I've recalled both offices, haven't heard anything. And here we are operating because I didn't find a loophole. I'm producing a podcast.
We just want to be here to listen and understand and open the dialogue because it's time for grace and listening.
And both sides of the story.
Exactly.
David Menzies for Rebel News here in St. Catharines, Ontario, and I am here at Chrome Artistic Barbering. I'm with the owner of the establishment. That would be Alicia Hirter, and her employee, I guess, did you want to go by Sunny or your real name?
My real name, Carla DeFabio.
Okay, and Carla DeFabio. And folks, Alicia decided last week that she had enough of the lockdowns. She was going to reopen, but that's just one half of the story. You see, Alicia thinks she has a loophole that is allowing her barbershop to legally reopen. Oh, just will you hear this story. So, Alicia, as I mentioned, last week, you decided enough is enough. You're going to go back into business, but you're not really going to go back into business as a barbershop, but something else.
Yeah, it was a time. I mean, there's never been a time like this before where I've had to look at doing anything but what I love, which is being a barber. I've loved my craft. I don't feel like it's like a job, but I've had to acclimatize, and I've reopened with Carla as a film and production studio, where we are going to shoot a production set for a podcast, hopefully a documentary called A Little Bit Off the Top, where we use our service, our hair cutting service, and the connection we've made with our clients to have somewhat of an interview. We're labeling this an audition because their content could be used for the podcast, possibly not. They've got a choice, but that's how we've chose to operate safely.
So let me get this straight. A barbershop, you would not be allowed to open, but there is something in the legislation that allows you to open as a production company.
Absolutely, because I mean, Beyonce has to get her hair cut. So does Doug Ford before he goes on any interview, right? I mean, you guys have to do your job. Netflix has to keep producing what they produce to keep everyone brainwashed when they're at home. So there's tons of exemptions because of that. I'm not trying to find a dirty loophole. I'm trying to find a way to survive here. I mean, we've been offered before. We've got amazing clients with amazing stories. We've had a couple people tell us before, I would pay to put a mic in here. We've had someone else approach us about a podcast. We've decided to take the step ourselves now.
This is fascinating. So in other words, a client would come in here, not as a client to get his or hair cut, but to have an audition. Yeah. And part of the audition, obviously, when you're putting together your 8x10 in your portfolio, you need a haircut, right?
Absolutely. And not only that too, because of we wouldn't be able to do this without the haircut. If we were sitting across from somebody, they're not going to give us the same information that we have when we're hands-on. There's a comfort level. There's a relationship we've created with our clients over the years. And it's the chair that gives us the platform to talk about it. It's open, right? So, yeah.
Well, Carla, I got to tell you, I mean, I haven't studied the regulations, but on face value, if this is true, it sounds to me like your boss is a genius.
She is absolutely a genius. Maybe a little crazy, but also a genius.
And tell me, I guess you do hair cutting here for the auditions. And what has business been like since you've reopened?
Well, it's been slow to start because I think people aren't really sure what's going on or if it's okay, but we're just going to keep moving forward, and I'm just happy to be here to serve the community and listen to people's stories and make them feel good about themselves.
Fantastic. Yeah. And now it hasn't gone without any kind of controversy. I believe almost a week ago, Alicia, you had somebody from Niagara region by law, a couple of people come here. I believe we have a clip of that. And what was the gist of that encounter?
Well, I received a phone call on Tuesday morning from someone from the city that actually cleared me. Once I explained that there was no permit for me to get because I'm already insured, it's my space. We explained everything. He cleared me. He called me back later to give me confirmation that I was clear at City Hall.
Hello, Steve Stack with the City Hall. No, I don't want to make a hair appointment. Please remove that from your message. Please, and thank you. And everybody else, consider with the filming industry part of it is good. Have a nice day.
20 minutes later, I had someone from the province show up and tell me that I must have found someone who I've pulled on his heartstrings, that his opinion didn't matter, and that I actually wasn't allowed to operate under her opinion, which was I wasn't allowed to cut hair because she felt that I wasn't a film and production company.
And this is fascinating too. The city or the town of St. Catharines is saying the way they look at the rules, you're in the clear, but the Niagara region is saying, no, not so fast. We don't think so. So it's almost in terms of the bureaucracy, the left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing.
No, and they're trying to keep me caught in the confusion. When I have two people come here, I had her tell me the first time, you can't open. Well, why? She couldn't give me a reason. Tells me she's going to come back with a reason, comes back with a man that's 6'4", that leans into me, that won't identify himself as a public officer, and then he gives me his opinion and tells me I can't open. They couldn't quote the bylaw. They haven't called me back. I've made a complaint about her. I've recalled both offices, haven't heard anything, and here we are operating because I didn't find a loophole. I'm producing a podcast.
They didn't seem to know the rules when it comes to filming. At one point, I think he was saying you don't have permission. The fact of the matter is you don't need permission. You're in public. In fact, why don't we take a look at a few seconds of that encounter?
I have a right to record it.
Yeah, we have the right to refuse, and we're refusing to turn it off.
Are you presenting yourselves as public officers to me right now?
Okay.
No, I'm just asking you, are you
cannot-
sworn in as a public officer?
you
Is that how you're
cannot-
approaching me?
What?
We won't be putting
You
this in the
cannot-
documentary, but we
you
record.
cannot have anybody from the public going in there to have their hair cut.
How come?
Because the access is closed.
Yeah, so not a lot of love there, and clearly, this whole issue of not having their permission to film. You don't need their permission, but there was a threat that they would fine you. It's been almost a week. Is the bark worse than the bite?
Absolutely, the bark was worse than the bite. Same as Adamson Barbecue. I think they were trying to come out and just scare me, maybe because I am a little bit more verbal about my views and about opening, and I am making an attempt to show everybody how to survive. And I think they really were trying to make an example and scare me, and it didn't work.
Oh, hi. Is this Michelle Brown?
It is.
Yes. Good morning, Ms. Brown. My name is David Menzies with Rebel News, and I'm just reaching out to you. I'm doing a story on Alicia Hirter and the Chrome Salon in St. Catharines.
Right.
Yeah, and so she had mentioned, I'm just trying to get some clarity here, that she had permission, I guess, to rebrand or reimagine her salon as a production studio in which she would do auditions as opposed to barbering. And she got the approval from St. Catharines bylaw for that. But I believe you and a colleague had visited her salon, and you had some questions or concerns about whether or not this was a legitimate way to operate.
Okay. I cannot comment on that, sir.
Oh, okay. I'm just reaching out to you. I mean, I had interviewed Alicia, and I just wanted to, in the interest of fair comment, to have you weigh in on. See, my concern is, it seems to me on face value that one bylaw agency, that the city of St. Catharines, is approving this, and then I think you're with Niagara Region, and you have some doubts, and I'm simply trying to get some clarity as to who's in the right here.
Yeah, unfortunately, I cannot comment on that, sir.
And, Alicia, can you give me, sort of some insight? How hard has it been in these last several months during this pandemic to make a go of it in this business?
Oh, it's tough. It's really tough because then you've got the government telling you that it's the 6 feet apart. There's been no spread in small businesses. They haven't found this to be a spread. The fact that we have been trained for over 20 years in skin. I mean, we're a sharps container. We prevent people from getting AIDS and hepatitis C. Everything in here is one-time touch, clean. Why are we the ones getting attacked? I don't think at Walmart you have people washing the bananas, watching someone touch the bananas and wash them again. They're not doing a COVID check and a temperature at the door. We're working one-on-one. We are with our clients. If anyone's going to know about public safety, it's going to be us. We've done it for 20 years.
No, certainly your salon, your auditioning studio is immaculate. It is so clean in here. And Carla, what about, Alicia mentioned Adamson Barbecue. We saw how heavy-handed, I mean, for goodness sakes, the city actually sent in the mounted unit to make an example out of Adam Skelly. I know in the days up to that, he lost some of his employees. They were just so intimidated that they wouldn't go there. You're an employee. Are you standing by Alicia regardless of any kind of bylaw threats in terms of fines or whatnot?
Absolutely. I want to abide by the law. I don't want to sneak people in the back door to give them haircuts. I want to do it right out in the open, and I want to have integrity with how I live my life. So I am making a stand with this, and I will stand with Alicia.
She's a ride or die.
Yeah.
She really is a ride or die. Like, I can't say it anymore. I couldn't have did it without her.
And we have a great working relationship. We know each other. We're great friends, and I will support her and stand by her through all this for sure.
Well, I'll tell you, I hope this loophole transforming your barbershop into an auditioning facility stands up. And if it doesn't, let me tell you this: if they do come back and they do find you, we will take you on as a fight the fines case. Awesome. You won't have to worry about going to court. You won't have to worry about legal fees. We'll cover all that for you.
That's amazing. Yeah, thank you guys. You guys, Rebel News was awesome before, but they just took it to a whole new level.
And I just want to say, I'll be happy to take anybody in my chair. The police officers in Toronto, Doug Ford, we'll take anyone because we just want to be here to listen and understand and open the dialogue because it's time for grace and listening.
And both sides of the story.
Exactly.
Well, you know what, Carla, I'm going to take you up on that offer. I need a haircut desperately. Can I buy a haircut here today, if you don't mind?
You can audition if you'd like.
Audition.
The microphones are running, but as soon as ours are, you're able to audition and we'll start our process.
Oh,
completely
my goodness.
Permitted, insured, and A-okay'd.
Well, that is fantastic. I've always wanted to audition for something. I remember when I first joined Rebel, the HR director said, "Do you have an 8x10?" And I think I said, if I had an 8x10, I wouldn't be in this business. But anyway, and like I said, if Alicia and Carla are going to be harassed by bylaw and get ticketed, we're going to be in their corner. We will support them as our latest Fight the Fines candidate. So for Rebel News here in St. Catharines, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. What a haircut, eh? Better than that place I go to in Richmond Hill, eh? For $3 you're laughing, and so's everybody else. Take that. Hey folks, are you a business owner and you are sick and tired of the authorities telling you to keep your store closed? Well, if you plan to open up illegally, I want to hear about it. Please go to iwillopen.com.